Episode 6 of The Boys is out and we finally had some progress in the plot. Butcher discovers who Kessler is, Sage ruins Homelander'S plan, and Neuman takes control, along with several satires of Batman and Spider-Man. Stay tuned until the end of the video to catch all the details of this episode. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. The episode begins with Butcher and Joe Kessler waking up Samir in captivity to force him to produce more of the anti-soup virus, threatening his family and torturing his still injured leg. Regarding Butcher and Kessler, there was a theory that, just like Billy's wife is his hallucination, Joe Kessler is too, as only Billy interacts with him in this initial scene and every other scene where Kessler appears. This becomes even clearer when Samir only looks and talks to Butcher, who does all the dirty work, while Kessler only talks to Butcher and observes from a distance, doing nothing else. Huey, his mother, and the boys' team hold a funeral ceremony for Huey's father, following a sightseeing tour of the local film landmarks from Made in Manhattan and spreading the ashes at each landmark his father wanted to see. Here we see Huey and his mother strengthening their mother-son relationship, and Huey seems to have left everything she did to him and his father in the past. During the ceremony, Starlight feels the consequences of her medical records being exposed by Firecracker, as a guy confronts her on the street, accusing her of being a killer. Kimiko is upset because Frenchie turned himself into the police for the crimes he committed without talking to her beforehand about his plans or the guilt he was feeling. She even tries to visit him in prison, but Frenchie refuses visits. After Coleman was revealed as the informant in the previous episode, it was announced that he is on a sabbatical year and Firecracker will take on the role of anchor on Vought's channel. Before we continue, if you like The Boys and want to see more videos about the series as well as DC and Marvel, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. This way you help us so that YouTube can recommend this video to more people. Additionally, I will leave in the video description in the community section of this channel the affiliate links for The Boys comics and other DC and Marvel titles, so you can get them without any extra costs and also contribute to our project. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, Mother's Milk is so stressed that in the previous episode he revealed he has allergies, and in this episode we see him trying guided audio meditations, which don't help much as he receives a call from A-Train, saying that continuing as an informant is too dangerous. Mother's Milk tries to calm him down so that the speedster can explain what's going on, and they can try to solve everything together. With the boys' team reunited, Mother's Milk shares all the updates from A-Train with the group about Homelander'S army. A-Train also saw Sage and Tech Knight talking and thinks they are planning something. To find out what the Soups are up to, they will have to infiltrate a Federalist Society party at Tech Knight's mansion and plant bugs without being noticed. So Mother's Milk and Huey go to Webweaver's house, a Spider-Man satire hero, to drug him and steal his superhero suit so that Huey can attend the party in disguise. At Tech Knight's mansion, Sister Sage, Homelander, and Neuman plan a major betrayal, persuading the country's top leaders to invoke the 25th Amendment. They want to remove Bob Singer from power and have Neuman take his place as president. Tech Knight is a satire of Batman. During the party, we see some provocations directed at the hero, like a moment when he tries to talk to Homelander as equals, suggesting they could be partners. But Homelander mocks him, saying that he doesn't even fly, clearly showing that Homelander sees everyone, except Ryan, as inferior to him. This is also a joke made about Batman by many fans who question why a regular human like Batman is part of a team of Soups. Huey manages to infiltrate the party, pretending to be Webweaver, and plant the bugs, but he didn't know that Tech Knight and Ashley had plans for a private party with Webweaver. Tech Knight takes Huey to his library, where there is a secret passage to the Tech Cave. There, they encounter his butler, who raised him after his parents died, and his partner, who is chained for betraying Tech Knight's trust. Here we have another Batman satire in relation to his butler. Tech Knight says his butler has been with the family since he was little, but then he scolds him for not cleaning a cage, and the butler calls him Master Knight. In the Seven's meeting room at Vought, Black Noir 2 is unmasked for the first time in the series. He's drinking in the dark when the Deep arrives and starts talking to him. Noir doesn't understand what it's like to play the role of Black Noir, as he is confused and strange. Deep reveals that he was very close to the first Black Noir and that the issue was that he felt powerful and enjoyed killing. Deep also realizes that when he started hurting people who made fun of him, he felt the same thing, and now he can understand Noir. Violence is power. Remember that it was Sage who encouraged Deep to take action when people treated him badly, and here her influence over him is evident. Back at the party, Victoria can't stand the rich people there, and Sage tells her a story from her childhood, about men like them who didn't listen to her when she could cure cancer. She learned in the worst way what sacrifices she had to make to manipulate people like them and get what she wants. After Huey enters the tech cave, he loses all communication with the boys and is forced to participate in a S&M session to maintain his disguise and avoid being discovered. Enduring everything becomes futile when Tech Knight discovers his disguise using his deductive powers. This moment is truly tense and disturbing. Annie didn't want Huey to be part of the mission from the start because of everything she went through with her father. When she loses communication, she secretly infiltrates the party but ends up bumping into Firecracker, who gets drugged by Starlight as she tries to find out where Huey is. Mother's Milk and Kimiko also enter the party undercover to help Annie. They make their way to the library where they find Sage, who tries to warn the others at the party but ends up being shot in the head by Mother's Milk. As we know, she has brain regeneration powers and will survive. Mother's Milk, on the other hand, has a panic attack and loses consciousness due to the stress and anxiety he has been experiencing. In the meantime, Kimiko finds the book that opens the secret passage to the tech cave and rushes to get A-Train's attention so that he can help Mother's Milk and take him to the hospital. The way she communicates in this scene, showing the title of each book to convey her message, is very creative, although it would be almost impossible in real life. Shortly after, Kimiko arrives at the tech cave just in time to prevent something worse from happening to Huey. The pivotal moment of the party arrives when Sage is supposed to explain her and Homelander's plans to remove Singer from power. However, even though she survived the shot, her brain regressed and temporarily incapacitated her from taking any intelligent action. With no other option, Homelander takes over Sage's task and tries to deliver her speech to convince the elites, but he fails to be persuasive and feels cornered, unable to provide answers to each question. It's clear that Homelander has no real plan to convince them, only a populist speech, and when he is questioned, he starts to panic. Neuman takes advantage of the situation to take control, showing her leadership skills and how determined she is to achieve her goals, which undoubtedly irritates Homelander. However, he doesn't react because he sees that she has convinced the elite, and the plan will move forward. However, now the boys also know about the plan as one of the bugs Huey planted picked up the conversation in the room where they were giving their speeches. In the cave, Starlight and Kimiko manage to capture Tech Knight and free Huey. Now they try to extract information from the villain to find out his connection with Sage. His assistant manages to free himself and helps the three of them access Tech Knight's bank accounts. They have fun watching every cent of his fortune being distributed to social projects. It's a pretty funny moment. He then reveals that he owns many prisons, and Sage wants to use them as concentration camps against those who oppose the new government system she and Homelander are planning. After that, Tech Knight's butler finally takes a stand against Tech Knight's cruelties and kills him, revealing to Huey that the safe word was Zendaya. This reference was brilliant, considering that Webweaver is a satire of Spider-Man, and the safe word was something he loves the most. The next day, Mother's Milk recovers in the hospital, but the attending doctor recommends that he quit what he's doing to prevent his health from worsening and having a heart attack. Afterward, Kimiko returns to the police station where they try to discourage her from seeing Frenchie, who doesn't want visitors, but she writes a note saying she has nowhere else to go and continues to wait. It's a touching scene. Later, Firecracker goes to Homelander to tell him that the boys were at Tech Knight's mansion and that he was found dead. Homelander realizes that Coleman wasn't the informant and starts to suspect Firecracker. However, that suspicion diminishes when she reveals everything she has achieved thanks to him and the amount of devotion she has, showing that she went to the extreme of undergoing procedures to produce milk because she knows he enjoys being breastfed. She also suggests that Sage might be the possible informant since she saw the boys invading the party but didn't report it. By stating this, Firecracker tries to turn Homelander against Sage to get revenge for Sage's indifference toward her. At this moment, we realize that Homelander is still as naive as ever. We thought he had lost any vulnerability he had after the events of Episode 4, where he did all those things in the lab where he was created, but here we see that nothing has changed after all. He is easily manipulated. At the end of the episode, Huey confides in Annie that he's not well after everything that happened to him in the cave and his father's death, expressing how much he misses him. Finally, in Butcher's hideout, he finally realizes that Kessler is a hallucination, confirming the theory mentioned at the beginning of the episode. In addition, Kessler tells Butcher that he will take care of him from now on. so we will probably have more scenes involving Butcher's violent side in the upcoming episodes. It raises the question of how far Butcher is willing to go to seek revenge against Homelander. This episode was really good. Honestly, I'm not sure which episode has been the best of this season. In previous analyses, I said that episode 4 was the best, but this one is just as good. We had several character developments here, as well as intertwining storylines, such as Sage and Neuman, where Sage expresses her understanding of Victoria and recalls her own childhood. Another example is Deep and Black Noir, with the idea that violence is power, probably indicating that Noir will start acting violently. Another thing I liked was when A-Train took Mother's milk to the hospital, and a boy admired him, showing more of his redemption. Now I want to know your opinion. Did you like episode 6 of The Boys? What are your expectations for the season finale? Write your thoughts in the comments below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications so that you'll be the first to know when we release more videos about The Boys. Additionally, if you want to check out The Boys comics, I will leave affiliate links in the video description where you can purchase the comics and other items from the series without any extra cost. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.